Hey everyone, in this video, I'm revealing 5 mind-blowing AI agent automations built with N8N that are absolutely transforming how businesses operate. These aren't just simple workflows, they're powerful AI-driven solutions that handle everything from complex data analysis to generating viral-worthy content on autopilot. These are automation solutions that we're currently selling to clients through our AI agency Toratech, and we've been having tremendous success with them. Since they've been so effective, we wanted to share them with you for free today. You can download these templates for free right now using the link in the description below. These examples are meant to get your mind spinning, give you some good ideas for building agents, and also show you some powerful ways that AI agents can be used in real business scenarios. These agents are very cool and extremely helpful, but they're also quite complex to build. If you've ever tried building an AI agent on your own, or you've ever looked for an AI agent that can fulfill your specific use case, even that is a difficult task. A lot of people are stuck in something I like to call the template handcuffs. They're on the move all the time searching for another template to help them fulfill their use case, when in reality, all they need to do is switch their mindset from consumer to creator. In just a moment, my co-founder and partner Luca will be taking us through these 5 insane AI agent use cases that you can build in N8N. He's the technical genius behind these solutions, and you're going to love his clear explanations of how everything works. So buckle up as we hand it over to Luca and dive into these powerful automations. Let's get started.
So we're going to jump right in with the YouTube automation. This is such a cool automation. I can put in literally any YouTube video. Not only then can I query the YouTube video, such as ask what Joe Rogan said about AI in a podcast, but it will also find 5 YouTube videos that are similar to the one that I want to query in order to just expand the knowledge base. So how it works is, this is the first workflow. This is a trigger that's from Airtable. It'll be this table. So you'll see when I input the YouTube URL into a form, this is what'll into this form here. It'll go into this table. It'll trigger here. It'll search the Airtable, get the URL, get all the video details such as description. Obviously you need an API key there for your YouTube. Don't worry, I'm going to delete this API after this video. It gets the video details such as description and ratings, and then it gets the transcript. We then clean the transcript here, merge it all together, aggregate it all together, clean it up, update the record. So here we're updating the record with the video name, video ID, description, transcript, and it's in the staging stage. It means it hasn't been vectorized or added to our database as of yet, and the source is primary. The primary source is important here because we're going to have 5 other videos that are similar, but they'll be secondary, as opposed to the video that we really want to query. And then it doesn't depend on anything, so that's why you see NA. That'll make a little bit more sense as I go through the automation. And then it executes this workflow, which goes onto here. So this is collect related videos. And this basically just gets the video name, and then we have a big prompt saying you're an AI agent whose sole function is to generate a YouTube search query given the video title. And as you can see, we've got some examples here. So best homemade chocolate chip cookies recipe, easy and chewy. That's what we search into the YouTube query. So homemade chocolate chip cookies recipe. So that outputs. Then we have a structured output parser here just to make sure it's all in the right format. And then we use the YouTube API again to search obviously the output from that AI agent, spit it out, filter it, making sure we only get English videos. So this gets the video name, description, video ID, and we're just making sure we only get videos in the language of English, which is very handy, especially if I'm querying in English. And then it runs through another filter, a function filter, and then it gets the transcript from those videos, cleans all the transcripts, and updates all the necessary Airtable records for that video. And as you can see here, the source type is relevant rather than primary, and the stage is relevant vid. And it depends on the the video ID from the primary video. That will help if you build up, 50 different videos, so you know which of the related videos, what do they depend on, what's their primary video. And then we will have this, which is on a schedule trigger. So I'll show you how this goes. And what this does is it takes all the transcripts that we've already loaded into the Airtable and vectorizes them. Vectorize them, if you haven't worked with vector store tools before, it's basically like having a knowledge base. But if you can imagine trying to put the whole of a YouTube transcript into a prompt on an AI agent, it's not going to work very well. And it's going to be very expensive on AI tokens. So this is why we use a vector store tool in this instance, because there's so much text going into it. And what the vector store tool does is it vectorizes the text, and then we use an embedding model, the OpenAI embedding model, to query the data in a really good, efficient way. And then as you can see here, we update it back into the Airtable, and then the stage is unvectorized, which is great. And then we get to the last part of being able to actually query our data. So let's run through this automation. I'll show you how it works. So in this example, we want to learn what Google's new A2A protocol is all about and how it can help us. So we're going to get the URL from here, and we're going to, so from this table, we've created a form, which is here. We're going to pop that in, press submit. So that should appear now on our video URL in our Airtable. If we go back to this first one, obviously you can have this active and it should do it automatically if you have it set to every minute, for example. But just for the test case, we're going to use this test workflow. And what this should be doing is updating this. Great, so it's updated all this. You can see it's in staging. And now it should be, yeah, we can see it's running here. This is getting 5 similar videos to the video I asked for so that we can query them all. Great, so as you can see, our primary video is here. What makes Google's A2A protocol really powerful in 12 minutes? A related video, according to our automation, is all you need to know about Google's agent-to-agent protocol, A2A versus MCP. Google's A2A protocol makes multi-agent AI 10 times faster. Okay, it's something that I want to know about. I'm sure you want to know about it as well. So let's query it. So if we then go to this workflow, and this will just vectorize all of them. Great, so now it's vectorized all of the content here. It actually got 6 similar videos, so now we've got 7 altogether. And then we can go straight into our AI agent here, which allows us to query the vector store tool. And I can say, give me a short description as to how I can utilize A2A for an appointment booking solution. Great, so as you can see here, the answers come back with is based on information from the video transcripts. You can utilize A2A agent-to-agent protocol for appointment booking solution by allowing different AI agents, each specialized for specific tasks like booking management, calendar integration, user notifications, or payments to work together seamlessly. Why is this different to using a normal AI agent that calls tools? So that is very true. And if you guys have been building AI agents before, you know that once you get kind of past 6 tools, it can get quite tricky. The reliability goes down the more tools you have. So, I mean, this seems like a great innovation for AI agents if you're in the space of selling them. Great, last question. What's the difference with A2A and MCP? To be honest, from my understanding, they're very similar. But I might stand corrected in about 3 seconds. Okay, sounds great. So yeah, as you guys can imagine, there are so many different use cases for this automation. If you don't have time to watch a 3-hour podcast with Joe Rogan and Mark Zuckerberg, but you want to know what he said about the future of AI or what Meta is doing with AI, for example, this is such a cool tool for research. And yeah, I mean, you can let your imagination run wild with what the possibilities are with this solution. Just to go through this build quickly, we've got the window buffer memory. We just used the very basic one, and then we're using a Pinecone vector store tool with the embeddings model of small, and then 4.1 as a chat model here. 4.1 we found has been really good since this came out. It's still not as fast and as efficient as 4.0, especially for like a appointment booking solution. I found personally, you might correct me, comment if I do stand corrected. So the next solution we're going to go through is this data analysis tool. Again, we are querying data, but this time we're doing it via 4 different tools. Actually 5 or 6 different tools if you include the calculator and the records by date, straight from Google Sheets. So yeah, again, coming back to the point of if your data isn't too complicated to use Google Sheets and you don't need to use vector store tool, then this is perfectly fine, and we're going to show you how it can work. So the subject, instructions to respond to these requests, leverage the available node tools by following this workflow. So we're just analyzing all the data. The data is refund and complaint data from a restaurant. So as you can see here, we've got about 87 records of data, anything from wrong order to staff issue to service delay. So we'll run through it quickly. And as you can see, we've got one tool, which is get events by item. So for example, how much money do we lose on a pizza? Type could be refund and reason could be wrong order. We do give it a little calculator just to help it out. And then records by date is calculating the days back, which is in this workflow here, which is reading that, getting a code to do the date. So we pass through the date or the time period that we want to parse from. That goes through the code in here. And then if event type not empty, true, false, and then it aggregates it and comes back with the reason. So let's test this out. How much money have we lost due to wrong orders in the past week? So it's just checking the date here. If you've watched our previous videos, we never rely on AI to get the correct date or time for us. We always use an API, whether it's like a PHP function or with AI. We're going to do a video this week on how to actually use those tools and how to get the APIs and stuff. So if you don't know how to do that, keep an eye on the channel. So here I asked how much money have we lost due to the wrong orders in the past week. We've lost a total of 264 due to wrong orders placed in the last week. So what it's done there is it's checked the date, and then it's used its records by date tool. So as you can see here, it's passed through the last week, and the reason is wrong order. So there was no event type, it was just wrong order, and it gives us back all 16 items. And then what we do is we go into the calculator and we calculate those 16 items together to give us 264. And then if I say, how many, what food do we serve here? Sandwich incidents have there been? So here we get events by item. There have been 8 incidents involving sandwiches. All were related to wrong orders and results in refunds. What about steak? So let's just verify this data. So if we go steak, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, correct. And the other one was sandwiches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, thank God they're both correct. Okay, now we're going to try to get events by reason. So how many staff issues has there been? There have been 4 staff issues recorded. And then our last question, just to wrap it up, is give me a report on all the problems we have had over the past week. It should give me a nice little report. There we go. So here's a report, full of problems over the past week. Refunds, most common reasons, complaints, staff issue, cold food, long wait time, rude staff, incorrect information. Items involved were steak, salad, fries, burger, cake. Yes, as you can see, a really insightful but concise report. So we're not reading for hours. We're just getting the key information that we need. Yeah, so that is an example of how you can analyze data. That could be anything from, a restaurant trying to keep track of their refunds and complaints, all the way to a gym trying to keep track of their good reviews. And you could do the exact same thing, have it in the Google Sheet and query it whatever way you want. Great, so this next automation is actually, I know I keep saying they're all really cool, but this one is properly cool. I can put in any blog post, and what it'll do is it will basically analyze the blog post, get all of the SEO keywords, brand voice that we set it to, so that if we want to run an automation and post new blog posts about AI or cars or animals, whatever you want, it will take whatever blog post that I put in here, it'll completely refine it, analyze it to make sure we get all the SEO keywords and improve the blog post for us to post on our website. We output in HTML format. I'll show you how to change that if you just want to do text. Right, so if I have got an AI agency, like I do, then I want to keep everyone updated on my social media, on my website. This is what I do. So Google introduces AI reasoning control in Gemini 2.5 Flash. Seems like a pretty good blog. Let's copy all of it, literally just like that. And then what we're going to do is replace this. So that's done. We've got the blog in there. Don't worry about the format for the moment. Then we are going to go to our main SEO blog main, and we're going to test this workflow. And then as it's running through here, as you can see, it picks the preferred model even to use for the blog post. In terms of should we use, GPT-04 mini high, 4.1, I lose track of all the different models that are coming out now. In this case, it told us to use 4.1, which is great. And as well, as I know we mentioned, all of this stuff will be in the templates, which are completely available to you guys. This video is simply just to run through them, to show you how they work, and give you an idea of how you might want to edit them in the future. So as you can see here, going through the automation, we've got the generate outline. So all this does is processing a podcast transcription to extract its key topics, generate a structured blog post outline in strict JSON format with no additional commentary. So it's parsed the input, and it's basically done an outline in terms of title, content, keywords, summary, tone, and style, and we're asking it to output in that same format. And obviously, just to make sure it outputs in that same format, we use this outline formatter, which is very handy if you need stuff to be in a certain format. So keyword integration. So what we've done is we've got the SEO keywords from down here, and now we're joining that up here. So our outline, which we got from the previous AI agent, is here, and then our keywords that are basically that our solution thinks that we should include in our blog post to improve it are all here. And then analyze the outline and determine which keywords from the provided list are most relevant to each section. Update the outline to naturally integrate the keywords without disrupting the flow. Provide a brief note on how each keyword is used and why it is placed in its respective section. Great, so we've done that. What we're actually doing here is creating two different drafts. So we're butting the AI against each other. We're telling it to output twice, and then we've got a voting agent up there which decides which one is better. So as you can see here, it'll be you are a blog content evaluator. Your task is to review two versions of a blog post provided as content 1, content 2. After reading both, decide which version you prefer based on criteria such as clarity, engagement, relevance, and overall quality. Instructions: read, evaluate, decide, output, keep it concise. So we'll wait till the second draft is done. This will come out with whatever it thinks is the winner. And then first, review and refinement. This goes through a lot of stages. We're not messing around with this solution. This will get you the best blog posts possible. So here it's in the reviewer. So update the live blog post draft with the following content. So there is getting the value from here. And here we are. So that's the value. Refine the text to enhance clarity, structure, and overall readability. Reorganize paragraphs for better logical flow. Streamline sentences, improve transitions, correct grammar and punctuation. And then ensure the final content strictly adheres to the brand voice guide provided in terms of brand voice and keywords. If you guys have watched the previous videos, you know that we're big on splitting up the workload in between different agents. It just really helps. We could, I suppose, put all of this into the same AI agent. It's not going to come out as good every time. And here we're just splitting up the workload and making sure to be as efficient as possible and as good as possible, basically. So what this done is it created a task in our ClickUp. So if we head over to our ClickUp, as you can see here, review blog draft, Gemini's AI reasoning control boasts efficiency. And then I can see it here. This is the draft that it's done. I've just done a really good, not overcomplicated blog, basically. So if I have read through that and I like it, I can add a comment saying that this is too long, this is not on point, whatever I want. But if you are happy with it, all you've got to do is change this to complete. Once that's complete, we'll go to this one. So that's the human in the loop revision. So this is just making sure there's a human in the loop, making sure that everything is going well. So if we turn the trigger live here, so it's on the ClickUp trigger automatically. I've checked over it. I'm happy with it. It's good. What that should do is trigger this in a minute. What do we have it set to? Yeah. There we go. So as you can see here, our agent is running at the moment. We've get all comments. So this is if I commented, it would take that comment, go into the revision request and change it for whatever way I want. Refine, giving user input. So again, same thing. And posting here, posting to Slack, final refinement. This is all just basically making sure it's ready and the human's happy with it. So it should take about a minute and a half here. Just to then show you this this automation quickly. So as you can see on the main one, we do call a sub workflow just before it gets sent. What that does is it goes to this workflow. As you can see, it just puts in the doc ID, and then we get that document. We do a meta description, which is using the following blog content. Please generate a concise and engaging meta description that accurately summarizes the post and includes relevant keywords. Then we have a header structure optimization. Following the blog content, identify all header tags H1, H2, H3. This is obviously if you're posting it on WordPress, something like that. It needs to be HTML. If you need to change it to text, this is where you do it. you do it in the SEO blog sub 2 workflow. And it's in both of these that you need to change it. So just explain that you want to output in text rather than HTML, as you can see here. Readability enhancements, collect relevant internal links, integrate internal links, and then the last one is you are given a JSON object with these keys, meta description, header structure. Basically get all the agents have just done, put them all together, and make the blog as it should be. Output only in raw HTML documents. So that's where you change it. If you want it to be a text document, then of course do that. So what we should have now on Slack is, so now this was posted into our Slack channel with the rest of our team. As Gemini's AI reasoning control boosts efficiency, assigns to whoever in your team. And this is then the full thing as in our blog. So again, I'm sure, as you can imagine, this would be very useful for a lot of use cases, really. In particular, doing blog posts, but anything around content or anything like that, you can obviously adjust it and refine it for whatever use case you want. We're going to be using this ourselves for blog posts. I recommend you do too. Download the template, get familiar with it. You'll have to add in, obviously, your own ClickUp and Slack APIs. But apart from that, hopefully this video guides you into setting that up correctly. Okay, next we've got this email automation, which will automatically trigger when an email comes into the inbox. It'll decide based off a predefined knowledge base what it should label the email as. Should it be a complaint, refund, general, and then doesn't need a reply, and how should we give the reply based on our knowledge base. So we have based this off a fake restaurant, as you do, called Harbour Lights. How to book large groups, advanced bookings, open hours, location, not a very long knowledge base. But what we've done is we've just used it in Google Docs so that we use the tool of get. So to run through it quickly, first we classify the email, and is it general, refund, complaint, menu, or booking. This just helps your client or you keep track of all the different emails for all the different scenarios based on your tags. We give it the email subject and the email body here. And then we get all labels and apply Gmail label based on what the agent has outputted. Down here, we assess if the message needs a reply. So it could be, for example, if you get lots of spam email about a newsletter you signed up to 4 years ago, that probably doesn't need a reply, right? So that's just a quick filter there before we get to generating the email reply. This is going to generate a draft, not a reply. So you'll see how efficient it can be in terms of me just getting into my email. There's already a draft made out. Even if I need to edit every single draft that this bot makes, firstly, you can adjust your knowledge base and your agent based on how it's replying. But secondly, I might only need to adjust a few words, and it takes out a lot of the thinking that I need to do on a day-to-day basis if my emails are taken care of. So let's test it out. So if I am writing an email, and let's do a complete mix of being happy and sad about my chicken tenders. Email to you based on recent visits. Hello, I recently visited and had a lovely meal. We're going to try to confuse it a little bit here by giving it those compliments, but then actually we want our money back. With my family for a birthday. My chicken was great, but I didn't like it. Please refund immediately, or I will take legal action. Jesus, I don't want to receive one of these emails anytime soon. How can I book large groups, and what's your open hours on a Saturday? Best. Go in here, it should trigger. Okay, so then if I test this workflow, yeah, by the way, this is set to every minute. Sometimes you will just need to wait a minute. If you want to do it straight away, just press test workflow. And this should have booking, complaint, and refund. There are the tags. And if I go to drafts, we should have a draft made out to myself. So thank you for reaching out and sharing your experience with us. We're sorry to hear that your chicken dish did not meet your expectations. We take guest feedback seriously and encourage addressing any concerns directly with the manager on duty during your visit for a quick resolution. Alternatively, can you send a detailed email to guest relations at Harbour Lights or use feedback form at harbourlights.com. Feedback. Regarding refunds, we typically do not provide refunds for food already consumed. Okay, that's a good company policy. Which should be raised immediately during your visit. For booking out groups, we do accept reservations for parties over 8. Please call us directly to discuss specific arrangements and ensure we can accommodate your group comfortably. We appreciate your patronage and hope to serve you and your family again under better circumstances. So, in my opinion, that's a very good response. Obviously, this is like a super good customizable like workflow because you can just put whatever you want into the knowledge base and it just doesn't need to be complicated. If I've already given you a headache or you're about to get a headache from the later solutions that are a bit more complicated on the face of it, once you play around with any solution, it just gets easier as you get used to it. But this is such a good starting point of a workflow to play around with if you're just getting into the space and you're quite new to N8N. This solution actually offers value and it's so transparent on what value it offers. If I need to change 1 or 2 things about that email, it will take me 2 seconds rather than 15 or 10 minutes. So yeah, as you can see, that is very useful. So the next workflow we're going to go through is the LLM routing workflow. And what this solution does is it basically decides for me what AI model it's going to use based on my task. If you're in the AI space as well, then you know how hard it can be to keep track of all these different models coming out every single day and them all having these different use cases. So what we've done is we've signed up to a newsletter. We have a scheduled trigger. I think it's set at every day. Yeah, I set it every day to check the newsletter and what new information has come in on that newsletter, and then it adds it to this knowledge base here. So at the moment it has O3 for being advanced visual geolocation, image and text, multi-model reasoning, you name it. It basically has all these different models and what they're good at. You could take this a step further and have the knowledge base based on a website with every single last detail about what is the best platform to build websites on, or what is the best platform to write a landing page about a cupcake shop, whatever you want. So, but in this example, we're doing it based off a newsletter. And so as you can see, it gets the message, goes through the code, gets all the valid names. So it gets all the valid AI names, but we don't want all of them. So we filter it here for only ones that are OpenAI, Meta Llama, Gwen, Google, DeepSeek, or Anthropic. And then it decides based on that what model we should use. So if we do a test here and I say, build me a landing page for a shop that sells matcha in London. So it would have went through here and got the valid names. As you can see here, it came through. There was 302 different AI models based on our HTTPS request, which is just get all router models. But we have just nailed it down to only getting these. So it came back with all the Gemini ones, OpenAI. So in this case, it's decided that O4 Mini High was the best one for me to use in order to give me this landing page. If you guys want to test this out and pop it into your Docker, then let me know how the landing page turns out. Okay, so to quickly run over the automation, as you saw, we're getting the valid names from there. Here we're getting the benchmark data from a GitHub HTTPS request, which helps a lot. Then we extract from file line by line data in terms of where they're currently ranking different tools, fixing the format here. So the model benchmarks and some more info about them. Here you can see in the agent we're calling a tool, retrieve list of models info that has been updated in the past 3 days. That's not actually 3 days, that is, I think we set it to 60 days. Yeah, you can see 60 there, it's 60 there now. So obviously you can adjust that however you like. You've seen quite a few of these now today, the structured output parsers, they are so handy if you need all your data in a specific format. Merge that all together, and then in here, current best candidates. So it gives us a rank. So rank 1 is O4 Mini High. It's going to be hard to beat O4 Mini High on most things, to be honest with you. I wonder if we say, write me a story as fast as possible. So yeah, O4 Mini High is going to be hard to beat. I've been playing around with it quite a lot, and it's really good for like attention to detail, reasoning. It's just a very good model, I found, that doesn't take too long and is quite like efficient, especially for tasks like this. So yeah, there you go. That is your workflow for having an AI, talk about automation, having AI decide which AI model that you should use based on your input. I'm sure you guys will get very creative with this. Yeah, do let us know where you guys take these automations to in the comments. I'm sure your creativity will run wild with what you can do with these automations and how you can utilize them and maybe even make them better. So yeah, we'd love to see any progress you make.
And there you have it, 5 powerful AI agent automations that can transform how businesses operate. As you've seen through Luca's demonstrations, these aren't just flashy tech demos, they are practical solutions that are actively generating results for our clients at Toratech right now. And all templates are linked below for free. I'm also excited to announce that we're launching our own brand new community very soon. We'll be teaching everything from the fundamental principles of AI all the way through to advanced agent building techniques. We're talking about comprehensive training that starts with the basics and takes you step by step to building sophisticated automations like the ones you've seen today. Whether you want to save hours each day on repetitive tasks, land your first clients as an AI automation specialist, or completely transform your business operations, we'll show you exactly how to do it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more automation content. We'll be releasing a full tutorial series on N8N automations in the coming weeks that you won't want to miss. Drop a comment below if you have questions about any of the agents we showcased today, and let us know which one you found most valuable. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.